Everyone, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I cover oily skin, hooded eyes, and beauty. And this right here, that's my Instagram handle. I do makeup looks, makeup videos, all that stuff. So yay, go follow me. Welcome back to my primer wars. Today's episode 10, and if you missed the previous episodes, I will link them down below for you. So this is the very last episode. I'm super excited about this whole series, and I can't wait for you guys to see what my favorites are and what the worst ones are, so definitely stay tuned. To catch you guys up, I've been covering 10 drugstore primers for your oily skin. For each of these primers, I am testing them with my favorite drugstore liquid foundation, which is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and then with my favorite loose powder foundation, which is the L'Oreal True Match Loose Powder. And I'm doing an all-day wear test as well as testing out the touch-up process because, as you know, for oily skin, touching up can be just a little bit tricky. So let's get into the 10th drugstore primer, and that is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Matte Primer. This comfortable primer preps your complexion for a super smooth foundation application and a gorgeous matte finish. I tested this primer out for 2 days, and day 1 was my first impression, along with an all-day wear test with my favorite liquid foundation. So let's roll the tape. I don't like this. And I'm kind of mad that I have to record after this because my makeup looks horrible. So the primer was super thick, super stiff, and just putting it on my face was just really hard to like blend it out. Like it dried really quickly. So I do have like smear marks. You can definitely tell whenever you're looking at my skin. You can see that makeup is on top of smear marks. So it's like primer and makeup smeared and just patchiness. And I have to record after this. I have to record a video after this, and I don't know if I want to anymore. It's horrible, and I'm kind of hoping that like maybe throughout the day my oils will come out and it just will make everything look better. I don't know why I'm expecting that, but let me just show you guys what's going on. Okay, so I'm not sure how well you guys will be able to see this, but you can see some patchiness going on right there. That's actually where I have like the smearing of the primer. It looks pretty bad. Yeah, so there's that. And then just like looking at the rest of my face, it just looks very cakey. And then you can see here where there's some grouping of the primer, like it didn't blend out that well. And I mean, it does not look good. I mean, on camera, the forehead looks okay. This just doesn't look good at all. Like the primer is just sitting on top of my skin. My skin was not able to soak it up because of how thick it was. So the foundation is just trying to sit on top of the primer that is smearing and patchy, and it's just not a good look. I'm honestly debating whether I should not continue with this. But I'm going to, because I'm hoping that my oils will save the day. I don't know. I will let you guys know. Okay, so today is the end of day 1. I used my very favorite liquid foundation from the drugstore, and that's the Maybelline Fit Me. And it's been 12 hours, and I still don't like this primer. I really don't. My makeup does not look good. Even my husband, who doesn't really know much about makeup or anything like that, was like, there's something wrong with that primer. Yeah, you can just still see patchiness and the foundation that didn't get to settle into my skin. You can just see it breaking apart on top of the primer because it is just sitting on top of the primer because the primer did not sink into my skin. Let me just show you. You can still see some of that patchiness a little bit. It just looks so cakey and creasy, and it just looks so bad. And this is my holy grail foundation. And it never, ever looks like this. I mean, the forehead barely looks okay. But yeah, so this just, it did not work for me. And this is my oil sheet from me touching up. Nothing really went back into place after touching up, but nothing really moved around to where foundation was being picked up or anything like that. Like there was just no skipping, no patchy, like no foundation just being picked up by the brush or anything like that. So I don't think that it really controlled oils. I didn't really go outside today. Really the only thing that I did that I would think would cause any kind of sweating, this is the 4th video that I've recorded today, so there've been a lot of lights, so I can understand, but still, I didn't go outside. I wasn't really active. I wasn't really doing much, and this is the result of all of that. So I don't have any hope for the loose powder foundation, but we'll find out. I will definitely find out for you. So today's day 2 and I'm wearing my favorite loose powder foundation, and I just applied the foundation on top of this primer. And as I suspected, it doesn't work at all. You can still see smear marks. The powder is just not emulsifying at all. So you can just see powder just like sitting on top of the primer and my concealer, and it just does not look good at all. Let me just show you guys. Look at that. My nose. Here I had to blend so much. There was so much patchiness that I spent a really, really long time blending it out, and it actually looks a million times better than it did earlier. I don't know if you can really see what it looks like on the top lip here and my chin. I mean, it's bad. Like it's really bad. I think like if you were to see me in person, you'd be like, oh my God, you do makeup on YouTube? Because I don't think you know what you're doing. Yeah, it's that kind of bad. I'm not even gonna do an all-day wear test, to be honest. It's not gonna end up well. So this primer did not live up to its claims at all. It is not a comfortable primer, and there is no smooth application. And I was so excited about this primer because I am so in love with their Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. It's one of my top 4 foundations. Yeah, this one was just really, really disappointing. So this primer made my skin feel super stiff and really, really dry. And you might think, well, you know, dry primer is great. It's going to be great for oily skin, but it's not. It was horrible. You know that feeling? I don't know if any of you tried this. I have, but putting glue in your eyebrows and then like covering it up. Anyway, that's how my entire skin felt. It was not nice. It was not a nice feeling at all. Because the primer was so thick, I had the hardest time trying to take the primer out of the actual tube. I was like squeezing it with both hands, trying and like using all of my muscle, like my little muscle that I have, trying to take the primer out, and it was just super difficult. And whenever I did have it in my hands, because the formula is so like hard and so stiff, that's what she said. I tried warming up the primer in my fingers. Like I just like held them together and I tried like thinning it out, trying to melt it out, and it did nothing. And it was just the worst primer I had ever used. And normally on my filming day during these primer wars, I will wear that primer during filming day, but I couldn't today. It was that bad. I didn't want to mess anything up. I've done a bunch of videos today, a bunch of photos, and I just couldn't risk another video or photos having that horrible primer on. So I don't recommend it at all. Yeah, please let me know. Have you tried this primer out? If you have, how do you make it work? I really want to know, because I am so in love with that foundation, and I just thought, hey, it's the same line, same company, it has to be perfect together. but using that alone is horrible. I just can't do it. So let me know, how do you make it work for you, so that way I can make it work and I can share how to make it work with everyone else. Yeah, and if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more content, because I have one more episode coming out for this primer wars. Again, it's gonna be my best and worst primers from the drugstore. Please stay tuned. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Bye.